Have you ever wondered how your phone knows what you're saying?
Alexa, add wrapping paper to the shopping list.
What does the human voice look like to a computer? And how come we have this technology to recognize speech, but automated voices like Siri and Alexa still sound a little robotic?
I put wrapping paper on your shopping list.
The experts to these kinds of questions are called acoustics engineers, and their job is to study sound vibration. Applications can range from ultrasound to designing concert venues and much more. So today, we're going to learn a little bit from the research of the acoustics engineers to learn how we've taught our phones to talk to us. To start out, we'll need to talk about some basic physics first. When you speak, sound waves form in the larynx within your throat. When air from your lungs passes through, the larynx vibrates, giving the sound waves a pitch, also called a fundamental frequency. We'll call this F0. Along with this fundamental frequency, whenever pitch is created, it also makes harmonics, or higher frequencies, which are at whole number multiples above the fundamental frequency. For example, if the fundamental frequency is at 110 Hertz, or 110 vibrations per second, the harmonics that will also be created will be at 220 Hertz, 330 Hertz, 440 Hertz, and so on, each one quieter than the previous. Here's an example to demonstrate the concept. Now, here's where it gets interesting. After the pitch and accompanying harmonics are formed by the larynx, the sound waves travel up your vocal tract, which includes your pharynx, which is where your mouth joins your nose, and your mouth up here, where you form vowels and consonants. Consonants are formed by the more physical movements you make with your tongue and lips, like ch and p, while vowels are more the result of a steady vocal tract shape that varies from vowel to vowel. For example, say E. Now say ooh. What's the main difference? The shape of your vocal tract. And physically, what does that do to the sound waves? Let's take a look. When your mouth forms vowels, it acts as a filter on the sound that is already produced by your larynx, like an equalizer does in audio mixing. This is called the source filter theory of speech production. Your larynx is the source and your vocal tract is the filter. As the pitch or fundamental frequency and the harmonics enter your vocal tract, some of them are diminished while others are boosted. The filter that your mouth creates when you say E, for example, is characterized by emphasizing low harmonics in this range of frequency and higher harmonics in this range, which are relatively far apart. For ooh, these ranges are closer together. These emphasized areas are called formants, and while there are theoretically an infinite amount of these for each vowel shape that your mouth makes, it only takes about 2 or 3 to recognize any given vowel. To demonstrate, we took a phrase and isolated a single moving tone, the center of the first formant. Here it is. Now, here's formant number 2, played by itself. Lastly, formant number 3. Now let's hear them all play together. What do you hear?
Where were you a year ago?
Crazy, right? The formants created by our mouths are a major way that we can program speech recognition technology to recognize speech. It's measurable, hard data that can be picked up on by machines. It's also why toddlers have an untuned speech and talk like little kids.
A little more cranberry sauce, please.
It takes time to train your mouth muscles to form the formants properly. Lastly, a cool little tidbit, it's also why 2 people can at times hear one word completely differently. Take Laurel and Yanny, for example.
Laurel, Laurel, Laurel.
Here, frequency is on the y-axis and time is on the x. Darkness represents amplitude or strength. You can see several formants as indicated by the darker lines. Look how similar these formants are. No wonder with a slightly different set of ears you can have 2 totally different interpretations, each one of them somewhat valid. But in case you were wondering, he did originally say Laurel. Thank you so much for watching. If you love learning about sound, click on the links below for more videos sponsored by the Acoustical Society of America, or go to their official website. Acoustics is a fascinating area of physics that is still relatively uncharted, yet it's so familiar to all of us. How many of us listen to music and talk every day without thinking about the pressure waves leaving our mouths? If you like it, don't be afraid to learn about it. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have an excellent rest of your newly educated day.